Hi. So in this section, we'll be looking at how to make a connection to SQL Server in our Tableau desktop. All right, so perhaps you have your data in SQL Server in a database such as this. This is how you do that. Over here, I have my SQL Server opened. So once you launch your SQL Server Management Studio, so this is the first screen you get asking you to make a connection to your SQL Server database. All right. So in my case, using a Windows authentication, so which doesn't require me to enter a password or a username. In your case, if that requires you to do that, so just enter the necessary credentials and you click on connect. All right, so now that I've made that connection, I'm just going to open up my databases. So click on that. And as you can see, we have a database called Superstore DB. So that's the one we are interested in. So clicking on tables, all right, and we have our Superstore data here. If I do a preview of that by selecting the top 1000 rows, all right, so we just wait a second for that to come up. All right, so now that we have this here, you can see just like what we would have in any Excel file. So let's head over to Tableau and see how we can make a connection to this. Over here in Tableau, we'll go to the connectors for server. So in this section, we can quickly see we have Microsoft SQL Server here, which is the one we are interested in. Perhaps you can't find it here, you just click on more or you connect to any of the other databases you like to here. So in our case, we are connecting to Microsoft SQL Server, which you have here, and as well, you can see it right here, or you could just select if that is faster for you. So clicking on this, we got this pop-up asking us to connect. So just like we connected in SQL Server, if I go back to SQL Server, like we make this connection right here, Tableau is going to require the same. So if I go back to Tableau, you can see here as well, Tableau is requiring us to enter the same information. So just like I have in SQL Server, I have my server name, and as well, I'm using my Windows authentication. So likewise, if you have yours on Windows authentication, or perhaps you're using a more secure credential, like you have a password or a username you're using, just enter those and you'll be good. Once you have that, just click on sign in. All right, just take a second and you should be on the data source page. So right here on the top right corner, you can see everywhere is empty right now. We just need to make some selections for us to populate the page. So at the top left corner, where we have Microsoft SQL Server, which is the server we are currently connected to, we are to select the database. So if you click on this drop down, we're interested in our Superstore DB. Click on that. Remember, this is the same one we connected to in our SQL Server Studio. Over here in SQL Server Studio, you can see we have it open here, right here, Superstore DB, and as well the table as well. So check out Tableau here. We've made the same connection to the same database, and this is the only table we have in that database, which is why we have that in our canvas. And if I click on update now, we should have the same data, just like we have in SQL Server right here. So it's the same information. So now we have successfully connected to our SQL Server database in Tableau. Catch you later.